So it's siege tanks and Goliaths versus about one more tank, and Canata just kind of setting up there. He's trying to buy time to get his tech up, and those Rays just picking those tanks apart. They can really go up at will. I'm surprised Xellos didn't keep them in position. I think he's trying to draw basically Kanata's Air Force out. He doesn't want to run into Cloak Rays before his Rays are cloaked. I don't think he has. Yeah, he's still researching Cloak right now, and as soon as he has Cloak, my guess is he's going to run up and start engaging those tanks of his own. That Academy's up, so we're going to see some comsat for Canata up as well very quickly here. And it looks like Xellos is actually also content just to seal him in. He's going to start taking the perimeter in the meantime. Now the question to me is now that this has kind of turned into like a perimeter hold stalemate, will Xellos go up and make a move? Will they just kind of rely on air here, or are we going to see dropships come out sometime in the near future? And really, it could be interesting either way, and it could swing any of those directions. Still, those about 5 tanks down for Canata. Canata just trying to hold his front while he gets. It looks like he's building another command center there, so he's going to try to take another expansion in just a minute here. Still research going on. Canata got a comsat off right there, so he knows that he has one more starport than Xellos. In the meantime, yeah, it looks like he's building a turret. He's got that engineering bay out there for spotting. So yeah, he's just trying to hold that position. A decent-sized air force for Canata. Looks like Xellos has 2 more expansions spotted out. He's building turrets basically at the other expansion locations. He's going to make sure he's just going to seal Canata in at this point and win the res battle long term. I like that maneuver on Xellos' part. Engineering bay floating out, so we'll see if we get a little bit of siege back and forth action here. An SCV coming out to that 12 o'clock position. He was trying to scout out another expansion. I think he realizes that Xellos is now expanding. That SCV just barely manages to take out that Marine. Xellos not paying attention to that Marine that far north, but my guess is he's going to move some units into position very quickly there to take that out. And it looks like, yeah, Xellos is going to have trouble here because that's a decent-sized air force for Canata. I don't know if he has enough to fight that off at full cloak, and really, he needs to get a turret down of his own, because Canata, with the energy they have at this point, it's been a long time with that energy. Xellos just taking that little bit of energy out of that SCV, a little bit of health out of that SCV. He's going to be able to move back and forth and kind of harass the kind of fixed position that Xellos is trying to maintain. Rays running into each other in the open, both cloaking at the exact same time. Looks like Canata got his cloak off, his comsat off first. He manages to take out a decent amount, about 2 or 3, and do a decent damage to a third rate there, and basically get off scot-free with the rest of his raids. He's able to able to kill the SCV at that expansion. He's going to go in and do some harassment on the main here. Comsat going down out of position. And that's a sizable Wraith force. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage there. That turret there isn't going to last very long against that sizable Wraith force. I would expect Canata to just swing back around and start harassing that again. So Canata out in the field doing some harassment here. And we'll see if Xellos can maintain this. Wow, it looks like he's got an expansion of his own going up that 12 o'clock position. But I think Xellos has sniffed that out. And that was a little, yeah, he sees it with that engineering bay would be my guess. And really that was kind of a bad move on Kanata's part, moving his Wraiths to the north, because that really drew Xellos up to that northern location. Xellos taking out a tank, losing a single Wraith, but really a good exchange there, because it looks like he's going to be able to take this command center instead, depriving Canata of precious resources at this point, specifically that gas. If Xellos can get another gas export going, he's going to take a significant advantage. Xellos coming in with more tanks, just a little bit out of position there. He's going to try to create a perimeter there, losing one of... And still a really big Air Force out for Canata. He's really dedicating a lot to these Rays. I'm surprised he hasn't switched to dropships. He's putting a missile turret down there to kind of have an advantage if it should be a Wraith-on-Wraith battle. And wow, brilliant maneuver by Xellos. He realized that there was going to be a floating command center somewhere out in that direction. He's putting up that turret, which is going to give him 3 advantages. 1, it's going to just do a little bit of plinking damage to that command center. 2, he's going to spot when that command center is going down, so he's going to have an opportunity to take it out. Looks like Canata, in the meantime, getting that science facility down so he can start up on the upgrades. I think he might be thinking, hurry up with the upgrades. So oh, wow, Xellos has a ton of factories out there. Getting back to my earlier 3 points, and third point, that's going to defend against any Rays in that area, should he decide to kind of invest in staking taking a claim on that position. Only 4 factories out for Canata, so Canata being outproduced. That those dropships out for Xellos. So oh wow, Wraiths coming down, gonna attack those undefended siege tanks. Those are all gonna be taken out. So Xellos losing kind of that seal contained. Canata opening up that map, the rest of the map for him. He was sealed in there for a second, but now really not. Canata kind of gained free reign, but we'll see how successful. Oh, he spotted that turret out, so he's going to lose that turret and probably that hold point. But really, he knows where Xellos knows where Kanata's going next. But he's got dropships out now. He's got a single turret up at that main. That really two of those dropships are going to get down for sure. I'm not sure what's contained. We'll see how many SCVs he can take out before those raids are able to back everything up. And wow, a large Goliath force. Let's see. Those raids are going to have a hard time with those Goliaths. Wow, brilliant maneuver. Oh wow, he had a turret down. Managed to take out a single Wraith, loses both dropships, but had a turret down out of position, basically to kind of harass those raids. Managed to take 1 or 2 of them out. And really, they can't go to the south now to back themselves up, or I should say to kind of go back, do the back and forth micro. All those Goliaths are out now, so those siege tanks are just kind of waiting to die. But that I like that move on Xellos' part. He was able to take out a decent amount of SCVs. He was able to kind of force Canata back on the defensive, but costly for Xellos as well, losing those 2 dropships. Brilliant maneuver by Canata, basically going up and taking out the dropships, realizing I need to take out those dropships now before Xellos gets this huge movement advantage. But it doesn't matter. It looks like 4 more dropships immediately back up. He also has his science facility up, so he's going towards 2nd tier upgrades. And they're showing the upgrade meter right now. It looks like they're dead even. 0-1 armor and weapons, and Canata definitely, I would say, losing res. He got that expansion right outside his base, but it looks like Xellos has 2 expansions, one in the upper left hand corner, one in the bottom right hand corner, and one at the 6 o'clock position. A large force of Canata coming out now, and it looks like Xellos knows it's coming. He's starting to gather his forces basically to engage. I don't know if wow, SCV's out in the open. That's going to be really difficult for Xellos. Xellos is going to be very spread out at this point. I don't think he's going to be able to fight this off with just those units he has there. Even though he has 6 factories out, he really doesn't have a lot of forces there. It looks like he's bringing something to back it up. That large force from the bottom right-hand corner, he's going to try to flank this grouping right here. Or, sorry, just kind of move up and bring it out. And really, Xellos is very spread out this moment. He has a lot of territory to defend, and I don't know if he has the forces to do it. Where Kanata is very mobile with those raids. Kanata, if he decides to take the raids off this area, he can kind of float around and do a lot of harassment. For example, at that 11 o'clock position, a ton of tanks for Canata, more of a Goliath, smaller tank force for Xellos. Xellos has those Goliaths and those tanks at that upper position. Canata very wisely moving out. He doesn't want to have a comsat go down and lose it. Looks like, I think he realizes that, well, he saw those SCVs for sure, so he knows that that upper left-hand expansion has been taken, it has been put down. Xellos putting up a command center of his own. He's content just to try to defend, and he's going to push in right now and basically try to take out that 12 o'clock position so he can expand and basically get that expansion of his own. Really an overwhelming force right there. Canata doing a lot with a little right here, I feel like. And I'm surprised Xellos, again, doesn't have a huge force on the ground. He had a lot of factories out, but really not producing a lot with them. Those Goliaths kind of being caught unaware. 2 Goliaths SCV down. They're just standing there in hold position. As I don't know if Xellos realized that he had them in hold position. It looks like, yeah, you can see, man, just kind of the hopping around. Xellos just trying to hold contain. He doesn't want to lose that base in the far left. Kanata, I think he's getting a little too aggressive here. It would be better if he just held the position and took what he got at that 12 o'clock position. If he's just being a little too aggressive and pushing up a little too much. He doesn't have. Looks like he only has 2 raids left. Lost a lot of raids there, but really he needs to settle back. Xellos does have the resource advantage right now, and he is producing a lot. But it looks like he's going to try to go down to that northern base. He might be able to take it out, but I think that's going to get. He's inflicting a lot of damage though. With the Xellos, I should say, is inflicting a lot of damage with just a couple units here. And again, I'm surprised that Xellos doesn't have more units to run up to defend this. It looks like he is going to lose a significant amount of SCVs.